Okay, good evening, everyone. Oh, you're kidding me. I pushed a button. Am I still going? Okay. Okay, good evening, everyone. Birdie here, the recycled hippie chick. Hey, I have been taking some of these, what do you call them? Coffee filters. And I've been piddling with them tonight because I came out to shut my little heater off and it was just too warm in here not to play a little bit. So until I get kind of chilly, I'm just going to play in here a little bit. I am just giving these a little bit of color. Just, what do you call it? What am I doing to them? Giving them some patina. I don't really want to give them color. I want to make them look aged and grunged a little bit. So then I'm actually putting them on these playing cards for tags. So I thought, what the heck, run in and get my phone and tape it for a little bit. It's quiet. TV's off. Hubby's gone to bed. It's just a good time to come out here and just do some mindless playing. I'm sorry, but I can't go to bed at 8:30 or 9, so my bedroom is right off of the living room, so I don't really like to sit and keep him up with my loud volume. So I'm just going to come out here and play for a little bit. I think I'm going to do is lay this on here. I've already done 2 of them. The first one, I laid the whole coffee filter down and wrapped it, and then by the time I was done, you couldn't really see the edges or anything, and I wanted some of that for texture, so I started tearing them apart and laying them on. So you could see the edges here and there, and that seemed to work a little better. So if you're wondering, what the heck is she doing? Why doesn't she just wrap it? Well, that's why. But if you are about wrapping yours, then hey, go for it. It is whatever you like. There are no rules to this. Good Lord, who made the rule on how to wrap a playing card with a coffee filter? Right? So I say we make our own rules as we go along. Don't ever watch a video and think, oh, this is the correct procedure on how to do this. You make up your own procedure because somebody made it up in the beginning. That's what I say. You are the artist. You do it how you want. That way it's your creativity. Right? Okay, so I'm sitting here talking to you and my voice is absolutely driving me nuts. So I need to vent about it. Since this is my therapy, I'm going to talk. If you don't want to hear about my whining, shut the volume off or find somebody that doesn't whine as much as Birdie, okay? My voice has changed and I sound like I either just woke up or like I'm a smoker. And I apologize to anybody out there who does smoke. But you know, after years of doing it, it gives you a voice. And for about the past year or so, that is what my voice has done. So I went to the ear, nose, and throat doctor this week. My theory was, as long as I didn't have cancer or something, you know, just tell me I'm healthy and I'll deal with it. He said, yeah. He scoped my throat and said, yes, that I was healthy, that it could be a hormonal change, it could be allergies. But he said, I can try some medication on you if you would like to do that. And I said, I didn't really want to take medication. If it's the way I'm going to be, I'll learn to live with it, because I am not a medication person. So here I am, sounding like this. You cannot sing. You get to talking, which I am very good at. I love to talk. And you get excited with a bunch of girls, and you start losing your breath. It starts becoming a strain. It's just a pain in the butt. It really bothers me when I'm sitting here talking on the video, because I know you guys have to listen to it. And it's not me. This voice is not me. So anyway, just a little frustration. But so for whatever's frustrating me, I need to say, well, hey, at least I didn't have cancer, right? Well, hey, at least it wasn't something life-threatening or bad. So I'm thankful that it wasn't. I'm still frustrated, but I'm thankful. So I am curious about my hormones, because I do take, you know what, I wonder if I've even told you these stories before. Gosh, that's a whole nother gripe session for me, is my brain. I may have already told you these stories before, and if I did, I am sorry. But I take bioidentical hormones. I had a hysterectomy early in my 30s, and the synthetic hormones did not work for me. I went off the deep end. I even left my family and moved out for a while. So I did some research, and at the time, Suzanne Summers had a book out and was talking about her experience with the bioidentical hormones. And so I found a doctor here in Wichita, which they're not readily available because it's natural. Not a lot of them want to mess with it. But I found one here in Wichita that did the troches, and the troches are the melt-in-your-mouth hormones that are compounded at a compound pharmacy, which means they take your blood work, they find out what hormones you lack and how much you need for your body. It's specifically your own recipe, and they make that so that each dose is exactly what your body needs. So I did that for about the first 10 years. 10 or 15. Then I started kind of feeling like they weren't working as well as they used to for me. And one of my customers told me one day, oh my gosh, that she had started getting the injectable hormones done. They're still bioidentical, but they're a little pellet that's injected into your hip, and they last, depending on, every woman is different, or men take them too. They last anywhere from 3 to 5 months. And so I thought, what the heck, let's try that. Instead of the melt in your mouth, let's try the injectables. So I found the place where she goes, and I went down and I started the injectables. And that's what I've been on for probably the past 3 years or so. Well, I require a little more testosterone than I think the average woman. So my question is, could it be that testosterone that's changing my voice? Well, I talked to the lady that does my injectables, and she didn't think so. Well, that kind of seems weird to me because all these people that are having these sex change operations and all this other stuff, you know, if you're turning yourself from a man to a woman to a man, you start taking these hormones and your voice starts sounding like a man, right? So I don't understand. But my doctor is a bodybuilder, and she takes testosterone in her bodybuilding. So you would think if anybody was going to sound like a man, it would be her, and she does not. So I just don't know. I don't know where to go with the hormone theory. I don't want to stop taking them because they make me feel good. So I'm kind of damned if I do and damned if I don't. As far as the brain thing is concerned, it's kind of one reason why I wanted to do videos and talk, because this could be my documented, if something is wrong with my brain, then I think eventually we'll start noticing it on video, right? My mom had dementia, Alzheimer's, whatever you want to call it. It's not what she passed away from. What actually killed her was a hiatal hernia. No, not a hiatal hernia, an esophageal hernia. Then my dad had a stroke, and it put him in dementia state. I was both of their caregivers, clear through from beginning to end, so I've been through the whole thing with them, and now I am just scared spitless. My husband says, "Why? Is there anything you can do about it?" No. Well, then why should I be scared? Well, easier said than done. I see my brain, I don't know whether my hard drive is full, and I just think and do so much that I can't keep it, all of it, intact or on track, or if I'm on my way down that road. I don't know. I thought, you know what? Maybe if I document myself, maybe somebody someday would want to research me and see, God forbid if it is, then maybe they could use that for research to learn a little more about this stupid disease. So I probably will talk about it from time to time. The other day, my daughter-in-law texted me on Saturday and said, "Presley has a dance recital tonight at 6:30. I said, "Okay, thank you." Well, guess what? I didn't go because I forgot about it already. How embarrassing is that? I'm sure she thinks I'm a total heel because I didn't go to granddaughter's dance recital. But I honestly, it was absolutely, completely gone from my mind by 6:30 Saturday night. And it is just totally embarrassing for me. It frustrates me. It makes me mad. Anyway, welcome to the world of Birdie. Snap out of it, girlfriend. Let's talk about something positive. Enough with the whining. I just have a grocery list of things right now, and none of them are turning out the way I wanted them to. So it's just kind of depressing me. I haven't had any health insurance for about the past about the past 8 years. And so I've had issues that have just lingered because I haven't been able to just pay cash for them. And now that my husband has got me on his insurance, I'm getting everything checked out, and it's not They're not giving the answers back to me that I wanted, so it kind of makes me mad. I've been waiting and waiting to get my back fixed. First thing I did was go to the doctor and get an MRI for my back to see first of all, what it is. Where's the pain coming from? The chiropractor keeps me going, but I want to know what it was. Can it be fixed? Stuff like that. Well, it turns out that they're bulging discs, and my doctor said they don't really do anything. She wants to send me to physical therapy and put me on pain medication. No, I don't want medication, and I'll figure out the physical therapy myself. They'll only do so many times so the insurance can pay for it. So I already go to a massage therapist, and she works me over very well. I mean, she really works me over. I had a pain going down my left hip, down into my knee, down to my ankle. I said, what did the MRI show on that? And honest to God, I felt like she was blowing smoke up my nose and said, it didn't show anything. I don't think she even put it on. She acted like, oh crap, I forgot to tell him about that. So now I have that going on that I still don't have an answer for, and the MRI's done. And I'm not going to, I still have to pay for my share of that. I'm not going to pay for another one to be done. So that's frustrating. I still have that pain. And no answer for that. My physical therapist found a lump in my left hip, which is the side where the pain is. And she said she didn't want to work it out until I got it checked over. And my doctor just felt it. She didn't do I kind of that type of person that I need proof of everything. I don't like the guessing doctor business. And she just felt it and said, oh, it's some such and such a hoopalati cyst. And I said, okay, well, can I get it removed? She said, I think it's the kind that has fingers on it, and it's probably wrapping around your sciatica or your Achilles and running down that left side of your body. That's probably what's agitating all that. Okay, well, let's remove it. Well, I have a patient right now who has one, and she's having a hard time finding somebody that'll take it off. Well, should the patient find somebody? Isn't that the doctor's responsibility to find somebody for you? I don't know. Things just aren't computing with me in the doctor world. Maybe I've just been out of the loop of the doctor world too long. Okay. We're just doing a lot of boring Mod Podging, aren't we? This is just an appointment card. I just cut the corners off and thought we would wrap it, and everything can become a tag, right? If it's got any stiffness to it, then by golly, let's make one. You'd be surprised at what you see in trash when you start doing art journals and stuff. I never thought that art journals were going to be my thing. Never thought. And I love them. What actually got me started on the art journals was Shannon Green did this thing called journaling by fives. And I decided to try it, and I fell in love with it. And you know what? After I'm done with all of this junk prep, trash prep, we'll do a journaling by fives. And I'm sure you've already seen 100 of them. on YouTube. But it is just so stinking fun. I love it. I have been doing art. I have done everything. My mom was very creative. I can remember, as young as I can remember, doing stuff with like her. Whatever was the fad, my mom tried it. Okay, so we did, back in the 70s, late 60s, we did decoupage. Believe it or not, decoupage was popular back in the late 60s. And then I can remember doing quilling, paper quilling, where you twirl the little papers and then squeeze them at the ends, and, quilling. If you don't know what that is, you have to look it up, because I'm sure I'm botching the name. And then what did we do? Macrame. Macrame started getting popular, so we macrameed hangers for everything. Wall, just plain old wall hangings. We did pot holders for plants. We did, you name it, we did it. Then we did pen and ink. Pen and ink got popular. You dip your pen in the ink, and then you trace, like on a piece of glass, you lay a piece of glass over a picture, and then you trace over it with your pen and ink, and then, it makes this image, this picture on your glass, and you frame it, and voila. And then we did latch hooking, rug, what do you call it? Hook latch. What do you call it? Rug latch hooking. I don't know, but we did it. We did the cross stitch. We did the embroidery with the yarn, where you do the farm scenery or whatever with the yarn, and and then we did the material, where you buy material, like let's say with a barn on it, and you put batting in the back of it, and then when you do like a straight stitch around the barn, it puffs up and it makes like a relief picture, and then you frame that. Oh my gosh, my mom and I tried everything. So then when we moved to Branson, I started melting. My favorite thing was Silver Dollar City and the candle shop. I would go, it was like my babysitter. My mom and dad would buy me a season's pass, and they would drop me off on their way to work and leave me there all day and pick me up at the end of the day. And I went straight to the candle factory. And at lunchtime, I went to the candy factory and ate samples of candy for lunch. Oh, and up on the main street, they had, at the general store, they had a big barrel of pickles, and they had a big barrel of crackers, and it was free. People could come by and get a pickle and crackers. And so I survived off of that too. But I fell in love with the candle making. So I would go home and melt crayons. I would build a fire in a cinder block in the little hole, and take like a green bean can and melt my crayons, and I would make little candles out of them. So I have had a creative nature all my life. Then my mom and dad made friends with this couple, Pete and Pat Brown, that worked at Silver Dollar City, and they just became really good friends with them, and we would go over to their house, and this couple was they were gypsies. I mean, they were true Ozark gypsies. Pete was a wood carver at Silver Dollar City, and Pat, I don't remember exactly what she did at Silver Dollar City, but she was into miniature, like she would do miniature doll houses, and she would build the furniture herself. Remember when the doll houses were popular and people would put the miniature furniture and everything inside of them? And Pete did pottery, and he did wood carving, and he did just whittling and sticks. And at his house, he had a wood mill where he would make his own boards and he built his own house. And I mean, they were just so eccentric and dressed the way they wanted to and didn't care about society. And, you know, they were their own people. And I adored them. I mean, that's where my mom has always said, I'm not sure that maybe the hospital didn't get you mixed up with somebody else's child, because I'm not sure you're ours because I'm a little odd. Well, it's because Pat and Pete Brown were odd and they didn't care who thought what of them. They were their own people, and it made them awesome in my eyes. That somebody would be themselves no matter what and not keep up with the Joneses. So that's pretty much what I decided. I didn't care what everybody thought. I was going to be my own person, and I was. All through school, I was my own person till we moved to Branson and I got married, and I felt like I had to keep up with the Joneses again. But I'm Amy again. I found myself again. So they spoke to me on an artistic level, on trying, you know, pottery, and just I'm just odd, okay? I'm beginning to realize the more I watch YouTube and stuff that a lot of artists are odd like I am. We are our own people. We're our own little species. I mean, I would go as a kid out in the woods in Branson and look for cool sticks and rocks, and I'm into nature. I love nature. Other kids were riding bikes and stuff up and down the road, and I was out in the woods looking for mushrooms and rocks and cool sticks that I could bring home that looked like something and stand them in the corner of my bedroom. That's what I like. I like nature. I'm a rock hound. I love, love, love rocks. I can sit and look through rocks all day long. All I can say is God is an artist himself, and he sure knew what he was doing when he created this world. He really, really did. You guys, I have sat out here and talked your leg off for 27 minutes. I'm going to wrap this one up. I'm going to do this one, and then I'm going to call it quits, okay? Because I'm sure you guys are just bored stiff. I have sat here and decoupage tags for 27 minutes. And that's all I have done, and gabbed. So I'm sure half of you have said, see ya, birdie. But anyway, it was good for me. I got a lot off my chest. And for those of you who have sat and listened to it, thank you. You can send me your therapy bill. And we'll make this our last one, and then we'll see what they look like tomorrow when they dry, and we'll do whatever else we want to them. Stamp them, put pictures on them. We'll do whatever we want. And put them in our art journals. Or bookmarks. Sky's the limit, right? You can do whatever you want with these. I am making a mess. It's texture, like Lori Marie says. It adds texture. All these wrinkles and bumps and ridges, it just adds texture. But I do want my texture to stick down, so I don't want to wrap that one, so I'm going to try to squish it over here. Put a wrinkle in it. Not very tight. I'm really, this one here has become a mess. I may have to go over it again when it's dry and put another layer over it, because I'm getting pretty sticky here. My fingers are sticking to it. I'll finish this one tomorrow. So, anyway, don't tell my husband I sit and whine like this, okay? Because this is supposed to be my year of positivity. Anyway, bye-bye from Birdie.